When we started building our house, it took us about 30 years to get it done. Time we saved up the money and one thing and another. But anyhow, when we started out, we had just the basement and the roof, the what would be the floor, tar papered over, and it sat that way for a while. But I had a string of lights down through there, and the cord just sticking out the wall so far with a plug on it, so I could put an extension cord on it and take it over to the power pole. And I was putting that end on there, and I dropped one of those little brass screws, you know, that ties the wire to the thing. And I dropped it, and I looked down there in the grass, you know, and I couldn't find it. And I thought, well, that's dumb. I'll go get another plug. And I thought, that's silly to waste a perfectly good plug for one little screw. And I said, Lord, you could help me find that screw. And I believe you will. And I looked down, and there it was. Mm-hmm. So I put the thing together. Everything was fine. The other day, I forget what day of the week it was, but it was early this past week. We went around in Sharon and Johnny's truck, and somehow or another, when we got back to their house, I couldn't find my ring, my wedding ring. And we looked all over for it. Now, I've had this ring for 60 years, folks. 60 years. And that's a fact. And it's not that it's anything great. There's no jewels in it or anything like that. It's just a round piece of metal. There might be a trace of silver in it. I don't even really know. But it's precious to me for two reasons. One is because Sharon bought it for me. And the other is what it represents. That, 60 years. Yeah. And I certainly didn't want to lose it for that reason. And I thought to myself, she paid probably about $120 for it when she was taking home $39 a week off her job. So I definitely didn't want to lose it. Well, we looked all over the place. We walked up and down Sharon and Johnny's driveway in the gravel and, looking and so on. And we went in their truck. So we did everything to that truck except pick it up, turn it upside down, and shake it. Wasn't in there. So on. What's that?
Dumpster diving.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I forgot. We climbed in the dumpster and looked all around in case I just flipped it off my finger or something. Didn't find it there. And I can't think anything worse than that. But we looked and looked and looked. And I finally said, Lord, if you will help me find that ring, just like you did that little screw about 40 years ago, I'll testify to it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you'll reveal it to somebody. Yeah. And about that time, so we've got a camping trailer set up at their place. Sharon come out of the trailer and she says, I found it. Here it is.
Yeah, right where you put it.
He wasn't going to tell. I'm telling this story. Anyway, I'm just so impressed that the Lord can answer the smallest little prayer.
That's right.
If you just believe that He's going to do it.
Yeah. That's right.
And I said, Lord, help me find it, and I'll tell them at church.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
So here I am, and there you are, and there's my story.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to, because it's been so good. Yeah. But the title of this song is This Same Jesus.
Amen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's right, amen.
Yes. Stay focused, folks. Yeah. For me, this has been a time of refreshing when Sharon doesn't know this, and I haven't said anything to any of you, not even you. Coming down here this time, I needed a restoring.
Yeah. Amen.
As a pastor's wife, you sometimes feel like your time is not your own. Mm-hmm. And when you have a really small church, a really small church, a lot of the duties fall in your way.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But God is so good. He knew I needed this so bad.
Yeah. Amen.
This same Jesus still has the power
Yeah.
today as He did
Yeah, that's right.
throughout history.
Yeah.
He is ours.
Amen.
We need to focus, claim it, and stay with Him.
Yeah.
This same Jesus.
We haven't rehearsed this or anything. I sort of know the song. I'm not trying to make an alibi, but I have kind of lost my voice, and you found that out last year when we tried to sing with Johnny and Sharon. Anyway, we'll do the best we can.
Some more.
If I put it in my key.
One day a stranger, a wondrous stranger, came walking down by blue Galilee. None other spoke like this gracious stranger. None wrought such wonderful works as he. And this same Jesus still has the power to save the lost and the sick to heal. Then come this moment, in him believing, his mighty power he will reveal. The duet. The gospel preached to the poor and needy, and sight was given unto the blind. The deaf found hearing, the lame were walking, the lost found healing for soul and mind. His mighty power has not abated, his gracious blessings are still outpoured. There still is healing for soul and body, and all we need in our risen Lord. And this same Jesus still has the power to save the lost and the sick to heal. Then come this moment, on him believing, his mighty power he will reveal.
So God speaks to us in different ways.
That's right.
So I don't know how many of you have experienced this, but sometimes I'll be on the lawnmower mowing the yard and God speaks to me. I can be driving down the road to wherever we're going and God speaks to me there. It can be a song that somebody's singing, or one that I'm remembering from years gone by that sticks in my mind, and God speaks to me there. We can wake up in the middle of the night and God's speaking to us. Sometimes we wake up in the morning and realize that through the night God spoke to us. So God's great.
Amen.
Right.
Right.
He's
And all the time.
God, great.
Brother Heath,
Yes.
some years ago, been quite a few years ago, but we were on a trip to Memphis, Tennessee, to the doctor's office. You know, you've always got an appointment, so you gotta be there at a certain time. Okay, we go into a certain place and cops pulled us over. we're going down the hill. We looked down, sure enough, it was about 5 miles over the speed limit. Pulled us over, so we had to go by. And when we got to the courthouse, it had to be cash. It couldn't be a check or anything like that. Well, we scratched together enough money to pay the bill, because it was gonna keep the driver's license if we didn't. Okay, we was a little upset about it, but we headed on down the road. We got out there about so far, and there's a detour. I was like, oh Lord, here we go, we're really gonna be late. But anyway, we asked the question, what was, the problem? Oh, there's been a big truck that's rolled off of bypass blocking this road. Russ looked at me, and I looked at him, and I said, and that's just about where we would have been if we hadn't been stopped. The Lord takes care of you. Sometimes it's not the way you think it should be. But I think back over that quite often.
So Papa had a radio program for many, many years. And sometimes I'd get to go with him, and then when me and Yvette started dating, and maybe shortly after we married, maybe not after we married, but anyway, we'd go with him sometimes, and sometimes I'd listen to the radio program, and I don't guess I ever failed to listen or failed to be there when he ended a program. Does anybody remember how he ended his radio program?
Till we meet again in the air?
Or on the air.
Yep. On the air or in the air. May God richly bless you is my prayer. And so I think he'd still have that prayer for us today, and I tell all of you that until we meet again, either here or there or wherever it might be, may God richly bless you is my prayer. And as time goes and as things happen, I may be the next one from this gathering of people. I may be the next one to leave this world. You could be the next one to leave this world. But if we do, I know that you love me, and I hope that you know that I love you.
Yes, amen.
Amen.